suppose the key change in the legal framework in banking and financing in Spain recently has been the revision of the Spanish Insolvency Act to allow a sort of what's dubbed in the market as the sort of the Spanish scheme. It allows a company to reach an agreement with creditors, albeit there may be some dissenting creditors, and actually to impose a solution on dissenting creditors. That's a major change in the restructuring market in Spain, because previously large companies were having to look to solutions outside of Spain, either through the English law scheme of arrangement, going through the English courts, or even in some circumstances looking as far afield as the US for sort of Chapter 11 solutions. I think what the Spanish Insolvency Act enables today is now to find those solutions back at home through the Spanish courts. Now that's a great improvement for efficiency for Spanish borrowers, to be able to sort of go through a restructuring process that they feel comfortable with. And I think that really is quite a significant change. Spanish banks went lending, domestic banks went lending. Frankly, European and international banks were uncomfortable at that stage with lending into Spain, and funds saw an opportunity. Obviously, funds are looking for higher returns than your typical lenders in the market. What subsequently happened, just as that was becoming an exciting development in the market, was actually the Spanish economy, further to all the reforms in the banking industry in Spain, started to turn around, and there's definitely been an uptick in the Spanish economy in the last 6 to 9 months. And I think that as a result, we've seen the need for direct lending actually fade as more traditional lenders have come back into the market. I mean, we certainly have a couple of examples of loans that were refinanced on a direct lending basis by funds. The few that we saw last year have already been refinanced by traditional banks. So there's definitely the need for direct lending seems to be diminishing in our view. Clients are always highly demanding of their legal advisors, because they see their legal advisors as requiring, or they require their legal advisors to provide the highest service in the most efficient manner possible. I think there has been a heavy dependence on legal advice as we've gone through the recession period and looked at restructurings of high levels of debt. I think that we're now moving into a sort of slightly uncertain world where people aren't quite sure whether they'll get a ordinary traditional refinancing away, whether they need to look at alternative credit providers, how they will refinance their business given the new regulatory environment. So I think that clients are very much looking for a full service where a banking lawyer is not simply advising on the credit documentation, but the whole context in which that company is going to finance itself. So I think there's an ever-increasing demand on lawyers to be adaptable, to know all areas of the finance world, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on lawyers, and I think it puts a lot of but it's a huge challenge. It's a huge opportunity, because I think we can continue to improve our service and give the highest levels of advice to clients.